823, Alberta's best country Friday, CJWE. That's Madeline Merlo. What you want to do about it? Good morning, I'm Jeremy Harp. Glad to welcome to CJWE this morning, Calgary's own Paul Brandt. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing great. By the way, you're one of our first musical guests on our new station in Calgary.
Oh, I'm honored. This is great, man. I mean, it's so exciting to be here while you guys are kicking off and get a chance to say hi.
Let's start from the beginning. My Heart Has a History started things out for you in your amazing career. Let's go back. What brought you to love country music?
You know, when I was getting started, I guess I was probably about 6 years old. It was the first time that I'd really even been exposed to any kind of music. And my parents started attending a church, and it was all a cappella music, and there were no instruments allowed. But I had this, real passion for music inside of me, and I was a bit of a word nerd. I started writing poetry, and when I was 13, I got my first guitar. And when I started putting the poetry together with the guitar stuff that I was learning, it just came out sounding more country than anything else, and suited my voice, and it just seemed like a natural fit. And we just haven't stopped ever since. It's just been talent contests, trip to Nashville, record deal, all that stuff. And I tell you, it's been a lot of fun. I always joke with people, it's a lot better than a real job. I'm having a blast.
What a week it's been for you, Paul. Not only were you officially inducted in the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame earlier this week, you also made a pretty big announcement that the CCMAs will be held in your hometown next year.
Oh, man, it's going to be great. The party's coming to Calgary again, and it feels like it's coming home to me. It's been a while since we've been in Calgary with the Canadian Country Music Awards, and it's, of course, the awards show is like the crown jewel. It's the thing that everyone gets super stoked about, but there's so many other things that go on behind the scenes, and also a lot of really cool public events as well. I know that they're planning a fun run this year. There's always a chance to meet some of your favorite artists as well. Some great seminars and learning opportunities for new artists, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Paul Brandt joining CJWE this morning. Paul, about 2 months ago, we had you on our sister station in the morning in Edmonton. 2 days after that, we learned about the Humboldt Broncos bus tragedy. Now, in honor, you wrote parts of your song, a beautiful song, by the way, Small Towns and Big Dreams, for the lives lost in that incident.
Ron McLean had approached me probably 6 months before the accident had happened to work on a project. He wanted me to rewrite Small Towns and Big Dreams for hometown hockey. And so I did more of a hockey version and had that kind of in my back pocket. And, I was planning a trip out to Toronto to promote our new music. We have a new song right now that's doing great for us called All About Her off of a project called The Journey YYC. And, I was going out to promote it in Toronto, and it was the Friday night before I was going to leave that the news came out about what had happened in Humboldt. And I think just like every other Canadian, set me in my tracks. And I wasn't really sure what to do. I spent the night up very, very late, just talking to my wife, praying about it, trying to figure out what the next step was going to be. And I was thinking of canceling the trip. And then I thought about those boys, and I thought about Dana, the trainer, and everything that they went through to get to the point that they were at, the risks that they take, and just their life attitude, chasing after their dreams. And I thought, I need to do something that's going to honor them. And so we went out, and I performed the song on a live performance that was broadcast across the country, and it was introduced by Haley Wickenheiser. Haley came out from Calgary with me to just bring... just kind of set the scene. She's from Saskatchewan, hockey royalty, and we ended up spending quite a bit of time together over those next couple of weeks, just trying to do what we could to support the families out there. And I'm just glad the song was used to raise awareness and raise some funds.
We got Paul Brandt joining CJWE. Paul, in your second year of your hashtag Not in My City campaign that seeks to raise awareness about human trafficking in Calgary, tell us about the campaign and why you decided this was something you wanted to put your name behind.
Yeah, I started working with Mount Royal University and the business students over there. They were taking kind of, the whole Paul Brandt thing and trying to use the things that I've done in the past to create businesses and also social awareness type campaigns. And one of them was Not in My City. Not in My City raises awareness for sexual exploitation and sex trafficking of kids. And, this is happening and a growing crime in Canada and in Alberta. And it requires that people talk about it, so that we can raise awareness and in turn start to, make sure that, our government leaders and community leaders have it on their radar so they know where to prioritize funds. And it's been very successful. One of the things that was shocking to me as I learned more about what's going on with trafficking in Canada is that Indigenous and First Nations populations in Canada represent about 4% of the entire nation's population, but over 50% of human trafficking victims.
Wow.
And there's an amazing tie between what's going on with the missing and murdered Indigenous women issue and human trafficking. And it requires that we talk about it, educate ourselves, and that we're aware about this issue. I'm really excited. I'm actually heading down to the National Music Center right now to bring some of the media through the exhibit that is being open tomorrow there. And one of the central items that we have in the exhibit is, of course, the red dress, that whole red dress campaign raising awareness for missing and murdered Indigenous women, because it's such an important part of what's on my radar right now. So I'm excited to be working on behalf of victims and survivors through Not in My City. And you can too if you visit notinmycity.ca and just learn more about how you can spread the word on social media and continue to keep this conversation going.
Fantastic. Now, in all this, all your hard work, you got also new music out. One of the songs we're playing on our network across Alberta is your new song, All About Her. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun going to Nashville again to hang out with some buddies down there and start writing again for this new project. The whole album is really about this journey that I've had over this last 20 years of this back and forth between Nashville and Calgary, these two places that I love and have called home in my life. And I went to start writing with a new songwriting acquaintance for me. His name is Seth Mosley, and another buddy of his, Ben Stennis, incredible songwriters, Grammy Award-winning producer. And we just, when you first meet somebody you've never really shared anything or talked before, an easy place to start in conversation is to talk about the people that are important to you. And so we started talking about our wives and what they mean to us, and all of a sudden we had a song called All About Her, and I'm really stoked to see the way that it turned out and the way that it's being received by people.
That is Paul Brandt. Paul, congratulations once again on the CCMA induction earlier this week, and we'll definitely have to get you into our new studios in Calgary soon.
Hey, it's a plan. I'd love to come and check it out, and thanks so much for helping us to raise awareness on the Not in My City stuff, and just for the congratulations, and hey, congratulations to you guys, and welcome to Calgary.
Thanks so much, Paul. Here is Paul Brandt and All About Her on CJWE. Good morning.